Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome. Hello, welcome to the Abomination Goddess podcast. We are so happy to have everybody with us today. I have with me, as always, Casie Halseth. She is the author of Abomination Born. It is a fictional portrayal of her real life experiences in the mystical realms, and her action packed books are full of lessons, insights, and calls for other Abomination Born folks around the world to start connecting, which is what we like to do with our podcast. She is an award winning public speaker, and I think that you'll find by watching this podcast and reading her books that she just effortlessly draws her audience into her world, both in her books and on her stage. So, welcome, Casie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. And my name is Ashley Kim. I am the author of Villain Era Goddess. It is a book I wrote to help women on their journeys to set boundaries, build confidence, and heal themselves. It is a very honest and open look at what I went through and the tools that I use to survive my villain era. And so I went through this journey alone, and I wrote this book so that you wouldn't have to go it alone. And I will be riding this crazy roller coaster with you. So, yay, welcome everybody. We're happy to have you. And we like to kick off the podcast with our show and tell, and we have a lot of really cool things today. So I'm going to share my screen. And then, okay, can you see that okay?
I can't see this. I can't see what you. There we go. Yeah, now I
Is
can.
it okay? Awesome. All right. Do you want to go first or do you want me
Yeah,
to go?
I'll go. I'll go first. Yeah, you've got a lot of cool stuff.
I kind of went overboard today.
No, I love it. I love it. Okay, let's start off with the pages from my book.
Yep.
I think that's
Okay. I think they
that one
might
right
be in
there. Yeah.
order. Yeah. Okay. Let me.
Yeah.
Is this page 78? Is that what you're
Go to
starting with?
75. 75.
75? Okay. I bet that's this one right here then.
It's kind of hard to
Yep.
tell.
Here we go. Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
that's it. Well, in the story, I talk about when I was 10 years old and my soul came down through the ceiling and gave me the instructions about the different levels. I had a stack of records on the little, the little record player that we had with the little 45 records. And she was, I won't read all this to you, but she was explaining to me how the worlds are all separated by the different levels.
Mhm.
And anyway, so then you want to go to the other book that I put on here?
Yeah. The other book?
Yeah, the other one, Secret Teachings of the Ages, that picture.
Mhm. Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. Oh, I swear I know what I'm doing. Okay, here we go.
Right. Secret Teachings of All the Ages by Manly P. Hall. I've recently got this book, and it's just an unbelievable book, but you have to check out everything that you read in there because some things are not quite so accurate, but they're pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Anyway, when I was reading his book, somebody had recently asked me if I spoke to the elements. And, I was kind of confused because everybody seems to have a different definition of the elements. What is the elements? And so in his book, he talks about Pericles. And Pericles, let's see, I've got something on Pericles here. Pericles was a physicist. I think I put that on there, but maybe I didn't. Uh, yeah,
Wait, it
the
was
picture of the old man there.
okay. Yep, this one right here.
Yeah. Okay, Pericles was born in 1493 and he died in 1541, and he was a philosopher basically. And he was a mathematician, he was a philosopher, he was an alchemist. He was just a really cool guy. He
Yeah.
studied everything. And he was talking about these different levels and how everything is a level. And so then he was talking about the elements. And you can go to that page that I have for him. It's should be right next to him.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. I'll just read you this line. He said, there are as many ethers as there are elements, and as many distinct families of nature spirits as there are ethers. These families are completely isolated in their own ether and have no intercourse with the denizens of the other ethers. And what he's talking about is each of the ethers is like a level, and every single element, we've got the elemental chart, in chemistry class, they've got that up on the bulletin board. Well,
Yeah.
every single element is a level, and
What?
all, yes. And so
That's a lot.
every element has elementals that live within that level.
Yeah.
And they pretty much stay within that level. So if you want to talk to nitrogen, for instance, you're going to come across beings that are in the nitrogen level. If you want to talk to gold, for instance, gold is an element. Was that AU or something like that? AG? I forget. But anyway, I've got it up on the bulletin board here, but it's too far away. But anyway, so every level has beings that live on that level. And what
Hmm.
Anne had explained to me is that the abomination born people are able to go to all these different levels and visit with all the different levels.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So
And
they're
just
not
to pause real
restricted.
quick, Anne is your soul.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Sorry. Just letting.
she's the one who explained all this to me when I was 10. And and uh most of the beings will stay within that level. And there's a vapor in between each of the levels that separates them all.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, if you're and some of what we're dealing with in this material world down here is we're dealing with element elementals that are also in all those little levels, as well as the elementals that come onto the earth. And the four major elementals are earth, water, air, and
Fire.
fire. Yeah, yeah. And as abomination borns, or people who I call abomination borns, like the Watcher Angel called me, we have that ability to go into all those other levels. So if we bring ourselves to, and each level is a frequency, every single element has its own distinct frequency. And that's how, they have those spectrograph kind of um, telescopes that look at the different planets, and they can tell you all the different minerals that are on the planet because
Mhm.
they're reading the frequencies.
Yeah.
Well, well, we're sort of like that. We can make ourselves go to all these different frequencies, and then we can become part of all these different frequencies, all these
Wow.
different levels. Anyway, I'm I
That
was
is
just so
amazing.
excited. I was so excited to read this. It's like, oh yeah, I already know that.
Yeah.
I
You're like,
learned all
this is
this
what
when
I
I was
do.
10.
Yeah. Oh, that is so interesting. I never thought about all of the elements before,
Yeah.
ever. That is mind blowing to me. That is a lot of elements.
And a lot of them will join with each other. They will leave their world and join with others and become something else. But most of the time they stay within their own levels.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Wow.
we, like, for instance, water is H2O, hydrogen and oxygen, two
Mhm.
hydrogens and an oxygen. Well, we we have interactions with water, which are the two elements. But so those elements are a combination, and
Mhm.
so they're the exception of the rule. They have left their hydrogen and oxygen levels,
Yeah.
but there is a whole lot of beings that live within just the hydrogen and never leave it. But you can
Um,
go to that. Well, yeah. I mean, everybody can. I think
yeah.
go to that level.
Right.
and and they're just within their world. They are distinct beings with their own lives. They have their own physical forms. They have they give birth.
Yeah.
they
They have their
they have
life
love
cycles.
affairs. Yeah, they
Yeah.
have their own world.
Yeah. Oh, that is so interesting. I love that. And I don't know, it just kind of makes me feel better. I like that there's more to everything, you know? It makes me
Mhm, mhm.
feel happy. Oh, that is so interesting. And the frequencies, I think that is something that I'm still learning about too. So yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah, that's the key to everything is frequency.
Hmm.
And that's all I had.
Uh, oh, okay. What about the rest of the?
Oh, those are just what Anne had said. I just
Oh,
kind of explained it all.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Okay. And for those who have not read Casey's book yet, she covers a lot of this information, but she does it through storytelling. So she talks about her own experiences, and she uses this as a way to teach the rest of us what is out there and what is accessible to us. Because if you don't have the veil lifted, which is most of us, me included, you don't even know what you don't know. And so her book is this first book is like an introduction into that, and then her next books will dive deeper into other areas of this. So yeah, let me show the cover real quick for those who have not read it. It is called Abomination Born, and it is a gorgeous book, but it also has so much information. And yeah, your storytelling in this book, I just love it.
Thanks. Thanks.
Yay. Okay, that is so cool. I want to learn more about frequencies and how all of that works, because in my mind I can kind of picture it, as far as like raising raising your vibration to match, I'm assuming, and then,
Well,
getting to those different levels.
think of like when you have when you put one of these fancy crystals in the window and the light
Hmm.
passes through it and it glimmers out in a rainbow of colors. Well, each one of those colors that we see, is a frequency, a different frequency. And so
Uh,
you're going into maybe, if you see your rainbow there and if you want to get into that, you would go into maybe the pink frequency, or you go into the red frequency or the yellow frequency or the green one.
yeah. Okay. Oh,
But to
that is
think
so
this
interesting.
guy Pericles, he was thinking about this sort of thing in the 1400s. And
Yeah.
I'm wondering if he had an encounter when he was a little boy, if his soul came to him and explained this to him too.
I mean, something had to have, right?
Yeah, yes,
Yep.
yes.
And he was probably met with all of the same stares and comments that you've had to deal with your life just being an abomination born. Like it's fascinating that that was a long time ago, and there are
I feel
teachings
bad
out
for
there.
my family. They had to listen to all kinds of weird stuff.
It's good
Well,
for
don't
them.
you know?
I'm jealous. I would have loved to have that in my family, just having somebody
No,
who could just
I have a
share.
strange one.
Oh, I
But
love
we
it.
had grandma and we had my mom too. Mom would find some evidence about it. She would look it up. Mom would
Yeah,
have
and her,
known about Pericles.
right, right. Yeah. Oh, I love that. I just think the world would be different if more kids got to grow up like that. Um, okay. So I do have a lot. Let
Yes, I love
me
it.
see. Um, First I will go into one of the books that I've been reading is called Witch in Darkness. And I bought this book in the spring of this year, maybe. And when I got it, I was like, why did I buy this? So I think it's one of those things I knew like inside I was going to need it eventually. And so I'm glad that I did have it. And so I've had a lot of like I've been dealing a lot with just watching kind of the world go up in flames and dealing with that. Like, how do you not let that overwhelm you and things like that? And so, one of the messages that I've been getting a lot, so probably for a year now, is that everything starts at home and you should focus at home and you should, you just start there. And to make that message even bigger is that obviously me sitting on my couch worrying about everything in the world makes no impact, but I can make an impact at home and in my community, and I make them on this sub level, and that actually makes a bigger impact than me just being stressed and watching the world burn. So I'm not saying I don't care about what's going on in the world, but I am saying that it is not healthy to just sit at home and be stressed all the time. And so if you want to do something, start at home. And start at home is literally the message that I've gotten over and over and over and over again. And so I picked this book up, and I really liked that there was, so there's, in my book, even I talk about cord cutting and, things like that, like getting rid of toxic relationships. But what I really liked is this book had a section on refreshing a relationship. So instead of cutting ties, how can you fix a relationship? Like, how can you stay close with your friends, family, whomever? And that to me kind of lined up with the whole, start at home thing of I need to have stronger relationships with my friends and my family, just things like that. So
I like
that,
that.
yeah, it really spoke to me. And so I won't read this word for word, but I will give an overview of it because I do think this is really cool. So, if there's a relationship you want to fix, you get two stones, boil some water and pour it into a container that you can put a lid on, and then hold the stones in each hand. And so the stones represent you and the person that you want to refresh or fix your relationship with. And then what you're going to do is, I will read this one. The first one represents your role in the relationship, and the other one represents theirs. First, spend time focusing on the stone that symbolizes you while thinking about the way your dynamic with this person has been lately. Bring to mind your own words, actions, and choices, and how you feel they have an effect on the bond. Then spend time with the other stone that represents the other person, considering how they have been acting and talking lately and how you feel that's played a part in things too. Try to be fair in your assessment of the bond, although it's natural if some feelings of resentment come up. What you're looking for is a balanced assessment of things and a willingness to understand that neither of you are perfect. Oh, let me go to the next page here. Okay, and so then next you're gonna hold the stones up to your heart and breathe deeply, and this is where you're going to put your intention into it. And then at the same time, you drop both stones into the boiled water into the container. It says you can add something else for cleansing, like salt, lemon juice, something like that. If you want to, you can speak like an incantation. So she has our bond is cleansed and wrapped in clarity, giving us the chance to find our way back to each other in fullness. Let it be so. Um, and then, yeah, you put your lid on. Oh, sorry, I keep moving this around. Put your lid on and then leave the jar on your altar or somewhere safe until you notice a positive difference in your connection. So I really like this. I thought, I don't even know if I need to feel like I have an issue with someone. I just want to reconnect with my friends. I might just pick three friends and do this with and re-solidify our bond together because we do all need each other. And our lives will be better with each other. So
That is,
I,
it's such a nice thing.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah, so positive.
it is. It's, well, of course, heat is an action. And
Mhm.
so as this is cooling down in the jar with these stones in it, the action is taking place. The action
Yeah,
of the heating is cooling down.
yeah. I
And
didn't think about that way. Yeah,
yeah, it's a very, very good idea.
yeah. I love it. And it's so simple. You don't have to go out and buy a ton of ingredients. Like you can go in your backyard and get two rocks.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah. And what a wonderful thing to spend time on, right? Like if
Hmm.
you're scrolling social media and you're looking at all the doomsday messages, put it down and go grab two rocks, boil some water and focus on your friendships. Like to me, that's wonderful.
I don't even, I don't watch those things or look at that sort of
Yeah,
stuff. I don't even know what's going on in the world, really.
great. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and I was watching a video. It's a lady that I really like. We don't have all of the same beliefs, but I do like a lot of her messages. And she was saying that our nervous systems were not built for us to consume information of everything that's happening around the world. And our nervous systems were not built to consume information of everything bad happening around the world. But
she's
that is
right.
what we're doing right now. Right. And
She's,
so
she's right.
yes. And again, obviously I am not saying that I think we should ignore everything and we shouldn't care. Like I'm not saying that, but I am saying we should listen to our bodies and our bodies are telling us that maybe it is time to focus on home and focus on your community, focus on what you can do instead of, watching the worst things that you could ever imagine on social media and on TV. So,
I made a pact with the beings on the other side, because for years they were bombarding me with all this information. What about this? I need to look into this. I was getting all this, and I made a pact with them to not just point out if it's important for me and Al, or
Uh,
for immediate
yeah,
family or something like that. I don't want all that other stuff, because it's so distracting. It's hard to be focused on living.
right,
It's
right.
hard to find the joy.
Exactly.
And so,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. And if the point is, finding joy and like having our vibrations higher, you literally cannot do that while consuming only horrible things. Like you just can't.
right.
Um,
And if you walk past a person who has been obsessed over something that they are thinking on, maybe they're thinking about world events or whatever, and they're obsessed with it. Now you walk past them, if you're at all sensitive, you're going to pick up all of their worries. And then the
yes.
next person you meet, and then the next person you meet, and the next person you meet.
Yep.
And when we're on
Yes.
the internet or on TV and we see things, we're picking all that up, and it becomes ours. I mean, and
Right.
so yeah, there
Yeah, we're
there's that
building it.
there's that shield that has to come up,
Yep.
and 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 we have filters then. These,
Mhm.
our helpers are giving us the filters that will keep what we don't need out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep, that's a good point. Yeah, and you're right. We're just soaking in all of that. Yeah. And there is kind of a movement right now where people will make you feel like you are a bad person if you're not just soaking in everything bad that's happening around the world every day. They make you feel like, well, you don't care. And it's like, no, I do care, but me being low vibration and angry and sad all the time does absolutely nothing to help the collective at
That's
all.
right. That's right.
It's just
Our
I'm
job,
just
our
another
job
thing
is
bringing us down. Yeah.
yeah, our job is to perpetuate the joy,
Yes. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Yep.
and to
And
recreate our creativity out, send it out into the world.
yes.
And we're very powerful that way. We can change things by sending out this beautifulness. Like my
Yeah.
mom used to sweep the street in front of the house and all over, and sending light and love out.
Hmm.
She sent joy out, and the whole neighborhood would just change.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yes. I
remember, I
love that.
told you when I volunteered one day to work at a rock shop in Sedona, and I swept the steps all the way down
Hmm.
and then all of a and she hadn't had any business coming to her location. It was such an odd shop location, and then a whole busload of people came in, and the lady said, "Oh, we felt your vibration," and I
Yes.
so
Yeah.
when you send it out, the good things will come in.
Yeah.
And all these
Exactly.
people, you could tell that uh, they felt the joy too.
Yeah. Yes. It's contagious.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So yeah, that's one of the things that I've been really working on. Because I did go through that kind of stage of like, well, I must be a bad person if I don't want to hear about everything. Or, like if I don't want to hear about everyone's suffering in this entire world, then I must be a heartless person. Well, no, that's not true. I have to be smart about it. And like I said, start at home. Um, so yeah.
Very good.
Uh,
Very good.
yeah. Thank
Proud of you.
you. Thank you. Getting there, Casey. Okay. So one of the things Casey and I have been talking about a lot because I am struggling to put my mind around how to use my tarot cards and my oracle cards. And so we went into a deep dive last week, I think both on and off the podcast. And so I took what she was saying and then I put it together with just like for my brain. And this probably does not look backwards to you, but I built this backwards and now it's like the right way. Anyway, so what I did is I took how Casey describes it kind of like clockwise or yeah, clockwise in a circle.
Mhm.
And then we had also talked about like the top half of the clock being like the outside of you, like that's the world, and then the bottom half of the clock is internal shadow work, things like that. And then we had talked about the numbers that go with each of those, but then
Hmm.
also we had talked about the moon phases that go with each of those. And so
Hmm.
I put it this way, for myself, for my brain, this is how I put it together. But then I wanted to go a step further, and I used just some numerology stuff on Pinterest to look up the numbers. And of course, they also match up with tarot. It's like it's all the same. So I
Hmm.
put so you can see like I have my numbers on here, but then I also just have like a feeling, or maybe I should say an objective, for those numbers. And so then I also put little notes in here. Let me get closer.
I know. I love it.
Yeah, and so I took these from it's a book called The Witch's Way to Wealth by Jessie DeSalvia. Sorry, I was looking at my books. Anyway, so she was talking about building your business and doing it with the moon phases. So I took her direction plus what we've talked about in the podcast. And then I tried to make basically what can I do? Like if I pull a card, what do I do with it? How do I learn from this? And so for example, um, let's look at 7 and 8, waning gibbous. This is the world, so this is exterior. An objective could be reflection, progression, and so then my little note is assess what is working and what isn't. Journal to learn more about roadblocks. And so my journaling would be about, okay, what am I seeing, around me? What are the roadblocks? Knowing that my goal here is just reflection. And I think that's what helped me too, is sometimes I feel like I pull a tarot card and I'm like, man, I gotta go make 14,000 changes and make the world better and rebuild a house and buy new clothes, like do all these things. Like, no, sometimes it really is just reflection. And it's a stepping
Yeah.
stone. It's not an entire staircase. So yeah, I will put this in our newsletter, but and then I also have the little lines of like comparing,
Yes.
crossways on
Cross.
the
Yes.
yep,
I
on
like
the
that.
clock.
The only,
So
the only thing I would the only thing I would do different is I would put the zero at the top at the 12 o'clock position. And then to the right would be the one and two, and then the three is over on the right where you have the 9 o'clock.
yeah,
I would go back. I would put it that way because that's how I read it. Although now, Dr. Townsend, she'll be on our podcast coming up. I believe she does it this direction. I believe she
oh
has
really?
it. Yeah, I believe she has it this way, and I do the opposite. But I'm dyslexic. I
Right. Okay.
so whatever works for you. And then so then your 7 and 8 would be the air having to do with thinking, and the
Yeah.
and where you have the 4 and 5, that would be the water,
Mhm.
and that's emotions, and the one and
Yeah.
two is fire. See what I mean? That would be the fire.
Yeah.
So I would have I start at the new moon. The new moon is the beginning, and you have that as the start. Um,
Yeah.
you know, but I am dyslexic, so I this is probably the way that people normally go around it, and um, I
No, I don't. I
with
think I did it backwards because my brain struggled so hard. Um, but I don't, yeah, I mean, flipping it, I mean, can't be that hard,
yeah
right? I can flip it.
put put the full moon on the bottom
Yeah.
at the 6 o'clock.
Yep. Oh, so you have 7 and 8 is air,
Yeah, so the
four
seven
and
o'clock
five is,
everything would, yeah, it would go the opposite direction, go straight across. Where you have the one and two, those
yeah,
need to flip, or they
yeah,
wouldn't need to, but that's the way I see it. But
yeah.
like I said, Dr. Townsend, she sees it the way you did it.
Oh,
She
really?
sees it. Yeah, yeah.
That is so
She's got the
interesting.
air down there, and the fire. She's got the air up there where you have it, and she's got the fire down here. And so this might be how if this is how you see it, then this is how you see it, and this is right for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, so I can make another version too, because all I have to do is move everything around. So are 10 and 11, what element would go with 10 and 11?
That's the pentacles. That's coin. That's earth.
Earth? Okay.
Uh-huh. And that's within this world, you see. That's where we're coming out of the world. So I have it
Mhm.
to where it's up there, so that's back in the world.
Yeah. Okay. I'll switch those around before I in the put it in the newsletter so we don't confuse
and
anybody.
and the zero would be at the top because that the new moon would be at the top, because it's going, that's you start with the new moon.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't know if everyone starts with the new moons, but I start with the new moon.
I do. I do for sure. So yeah, that would make sense to me. And I don't know why I had to build it out this way because I did try it with the new moon at the top and I couldn't do it. I did my but I feel like now that it's done, it's so it'll be easier for me to just flip everything around, right?
Sure,
Um
sure, sure.
yeah. So
Or you could leave it this way. This is, like I said, I'm dyslexic. I when it comes to directions, I have to finally solidify myself to one way of doing it, and it's probably not the right way. That's just how I
yeah.
do it.
No. No, I like that. I am going to switch it around. I'm going to test it out that way. Um so the other thing that I was going that I've been using this for is to see like if I wanted to pull just one card for the day, just going to look up what the moon phase was and then finding it on the little wheel and then just following that one little section for that moon
That's
phase. And
great.
so yeah, so it was I was kind of using it as like I could do a big spread or I could just do one card, like I could do whatever I want. Um so yeah, I'm gonna make your changes and then put it out there. And yeah, this is
Yeah,
why I like our podcast.
see how it feels to you.
Yeah.
Just see how it
Yeah.
feels. I said, I am so dyslexic that I can't. I'm probably wrong, but this is how I had to do it. I start with the zero at the top.
Yeah. No, I would start with a new moon too. And that's what's so weird to me is my brain for some reason started down there. Anyway, but I think that was just for building it, maybe. I don't know. But I'm gonna switch it around. I'm gonna play with it and see how it goes for me.
Actually, when I was working on this myself, when I first started doing this years and years ago, I did it also that other way. I was,
Did it?
as I was, yeah, as I was working with it though, it didn't work for me, and so I brought it around, and then it then I got it to work. I'd put it all on a on a piece of paper, and I just kept turning the paper around until I could get it to where it would be
Yeah.
okay for me. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, and finally it worked. So I had to use my manual movements in order to
Yeah.
get my brain to see it the way it was.
Yeah. I like that though. I like that we basically just find what works for us. And
Mhm, mhm.
I think I don't know, to me that just makes it seem better.
And then these are just the positions too.
Hmm.
So like if I am doing a tarot reading, and I'm using the circle and going through it twice, then it's just the position. It's not the card, because the card has its own story, depending on which deck I'm using, if it's an oracle or if it's a standard tarot or something else, that has its own story, that it's going to help me with something. But if I'm putting it down and it lands in a particular position, that
Hmm.
just tells me what that story is talking about. It helps me to know what it's talking about
Yeah.
in my journey.
Yeah. Like kind of catalogs it or categorizes it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's what I was needing was like just a little bit more structure around it. But I think I needed to start with the
Oh, we
structure
just
so
lost
then
your
I could,
sound.
oh,
Oh, there you go. You're back.
oh, am I back? Okay, that was
Yeah.
weird. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, maybe that's my internet.
oh, can you hear me?
Hmm.
Okay, I can hear you. Are we good?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I wanted to give credit to Inter Moonlight. It looks like they're a tarot app, but I found some oh, on Pinterest. I thought this was so cool. They
Yeah.
made to help explain the tarot cards, they made it into like a thermometer and then just to help you. So like I'm on wands Ace of Wands, inspired, Ten of Wands, it's too much. And so it takes you through each of those steps.
Yes.
This was kind of funny. Seven of Wands, fight me. That's how I feel today. But anyway, I thought this was such a fun way to, I'll show the other ones. I'm going to put these in the newsletter. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I liked how it just went through each of
Yes.
the numbers, and it really helped me because sometimes I do get confused or I don't understand, what I'm reading. I'll read it even in the book and I'm like, I don't know. This breaks it down into something so simple.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. And again, that becomes a position. So when you pull out a card, um, and it lands in one of those, I have it like if it was in the cups there, that would be between 3 and 6, as you're looking at that quadrant. So let's say I pull out the 5 of cups, which is right in the middle. So that would be like at 4 o'clock, or let's see, 3, 4, yeah, 4, maybe about 4:30, something like that, if it lands right in there somewhere. Um, the 5 of cups, it says on your thing there that it's brooding. And so the way uh, from 3 to 6, as you're going through there, um, 6 being, as just before the 6 happens is good. Your emotions are dealt with. You're good. And when you first step into the shadow world, it's like overwhelmingly not good.
yep.
you know. And the in
Yes.
between is the battle of oh, this is too much. I don't know. Should I do it or shouldn't I do it? So that's kind of how I position all that. So again,
Yeah.
it's the position. And then when you pull out the card, it'll say what what kind of feeling you're dealing with, or what person is causing this, or what in your life is causing this.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yep.
So I
Oh,
have, it's like the minutes, kind of the minutes going around. So between 3 o'clock and just before 6 is like, you've got these extra 10 minutes drawn in, sort of.
yeah. Oh, that's so helpful. I'll show the pentacles real quick. Um, yeah, yeah, and like you were saying, you can see where it goes kind of into that more shadow to the inner, and
Hmm.
then,
Hmm.
back out. On each of these, you can see that. Um,
And, and each one of them is dealing with their own element. Like this is the Pentacles. So that's dealing with the world, and it could be dealing with your money, with your job, and all that. The first one is fire. That could be dealing with um, getting yourself fired up to do something within the
yeah,
world. Uh,
yeah, yeah,
and then the cups is, of course, the emotions, dealing with emotions in the world. And the other one is air, which is dealing with all the thoughts and the thinking and the regrets and everything else within the
yeah,
shadow.
yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah, I love it all.
Yeah. I really like these thermometer things. They're wonderful.
Yeah, I thought they were so helpful.
And it came from that pot that came from that uh
Yep.
what's the name of
Enter
it? Enter
Enter
Moonlight
Moonlight. Mm-hmm.
Moonlight
Yeah.
Tarot
Yep,
app.
it's some kind of app. Yeah, I need to look a little bit further. I did look through their Instagram account, and they have some good posts in there, so it's worth a follow, if anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, I thought they did a good job.
Yes. Yes.
Yay. Yeah, so that's my tarot and oracle card journey. I will update that my little, I don't know, I called it a wheel. I don't know what to call it, but my little tarot wheel. But I've been having a lot of fun with it, and yeah, just messing around with it and seeing what I get. And I've also been so I think it was on TikTok was talking about how they meet with their guides every morning um to be like, what do I do here? What do I do there? And there is a lady, I heard her speak, and I think she's just called like, I think her brand is just called Bruja, but she's from Mexico. Um, but she just talks about how she called it her board of directors. So it would be like her guides or whoever she was working with. And that's how she built her entire business, is that she would walk into these really hard client meetings where she had to give all kinds of advice, like legal PR, all kinds of things. And she said that she would get her board of directors on board, walk into the room, and basically just say whatever they told her to say, or like whatever solutions they told her. And she built like a huge business and she did really well for herself. And so I've been getting a lot more content like that. So I'm like, well, I'm going to do that too. But it has been helpful as far as I'm one of those people that I will give myself like 10 million things I want to do and then feel bad that I'm not doing all 10 million at the same time. And so it is kind of nice to like check in and have a buddy that you're talking to be like, well, what should I focus on or what should I do next? And yeah, so that's the other thing that I've been working on. Just, I don't know, my intuition and listening.
You almost have to do that when you're dealing with the public.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
almost have to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and it's a thing that I find anyway, a thing that you have to practice
Yeah.
because if somebody says something to you or does something or asks a question, you're just going to answer it right, but you have to practice not answering right away and listening and then answering. Um, and so for me, I don't know. I'm one of those people that if I don't answer right away, I feel like they might think I'm stupid or like I don't know anything. And so I had to like get over that too, especially because my answers are good, when I'm talking. So yeah.
A long time
Um,
ago, I can't remember, someone on the other side had said to me how important it was to show up at the same time every day. If you're going to do it, if it's going to be on like a Tuesday, for instance, if you're going to meditate on it every Tuesday, it was easier on them to come in if it was on a regular schedule. Um, and
Interesting.
and yeah, and I was like, really?
Yeah.
They were explaining to me how difficult it was for them unless they knew ahead of time and could block themselves to come at that
Yeah.
time, and they
Okay.
because I wasn't I was just whenever, I wasn't
Right.
I didn't have any
Yeah, that's
structure to it. I didn't think it was important to have structure or anything. And they were very kind, and
mhm.
I said it's just easier for them. And so if
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
I
that makes
wanted some,
sense.
yeah, if I wanted some guidance, and at that time I was teaching quite a bit of meditation classes and different things, and I was dealing with a lot of people at one time. At each group was huge, and
Mhm.
so I was getting a lot of help from the other side. And when I started having these groups on a regular basis, uh, it would get better and easier and easier and easier because I was on a regular basis. And they said, well, that was why. It was
Okay.
because it was easier for them to come down to our level and be prepared for it and know, that we were going to be there.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Hearing it, that makes total sense.
For me, it was like, really? I was
Yeah.
like, are you
I
sure?
mean, I didn't think about that at all until you said it.
It's like, you mean you're not just available,
I
whenever I
know.
call it?
Right. You're not just sitting around waiting for me all the time.
Yeah. And yeah, there's like, oh yeah, it really helps. It really helps.
Yeah.
And then
That is.
they will invite more in as well.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That is excellent advice. That is excellent advice. And if you think about it, I mean, religions, even they're not calling on guides or anything, but religions, they keep everything at the exact same time and day all the time. Um,
Yeah,
I wonder
that's
if there's like some kind of history that like kind of pushed them to do that and they don't even remember that that's why they do it. I don't know.
well, all in the same book by Manly P. Hall, he was talking about Saturn, and that's Saturday, and that's Kronos. And he was the Titan who killed his father. And then he ate all of his children, and his one child was was scurried away by the mom, and that was Zeus. And then Zeus released all of his brothers and sisters from inside of Kronos, you know. And anyway, so Saturn is Kronos, and Saturn is has always been a sacred day, and that was Saturday. And so
Yeah.
for and this was way back in ancient Greek days and things, and even before that. And uh, the Saturn, a lot of people associated rocks and stones with Saturn,
Mhm.
and so one
Yeah.
day a week was the day that you would honor the stones.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
That was way back.
Yeah. Yeah. Like way back. I know there has to be, like, I bet there are so many things that we do that we don't even know, like the rituals that started, the things that we do
Mhm,
today. I
mhm.
feel like that's one of them. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Okay. What are our lessons for today? Um, keep playing with your tarot cards and your layouts and see what works for you.
Yeah, what
And
works for everybody, everybody's different, like,
yeah.
if you follow me, you're gonna end up being dyslexic.
I can't say anything about that. I'm like that with numbers. Yeah, it's an issue. If somebody wants to start doing a little bit more research into frequencies and the elements, where would
Yes.
you direct them?
Well, Hmm, that's well, the Manly P. Hall book just touches on all these different things. So you really would have to do some searches on it. Like I had to go onto Google to get the Pericles information. But from that, anyone who studies astronomy, the
Mhm.
stars, that is that's what they totally work on is all the frequencies that come up all these different planets and astral bodies.
Okay.
They're they're looking at all that,
Okay.
and frequency is everything. Everything is a frequency, and that's where when we're tapped into the guides or whoever is helping us out, we have brought ourselves up to the frequency, and they have come down to a low enough frequency that we can get some information.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So astronomy is a good
Yeah,
place to,
yeah,
yeah.
anything, any of the sciences, science and physics is
Mhm.
metaphysics.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it really is.
it really
I
is.
I was what was I? I was searching something. Oh, I was searching the symbols on some oracle cards because I was like, what are these symbols? I know what they are, but my brain wasn't. And it was all alchemy is what I landed
Ellen,
on, which was, metals, stones, like all the things.
yes,
So yeah, it just kind of all ties together. And just what I was listening to you talk about the elements and stuff, I'm like, that kind of tied into what I was reading about the like different, different types of alchemy and what they work with. Kind
yeah,
of,
yeah. And each frequency, each element does have its own frequency and is very distinct. And that's how
yeah,
they know. And when they come across something new, they know it's new because it has a different frequency.
yeah. Oh, that is so interesting. Oh, I love this. So yeah, okay. So anyone wanting to learn more, yeah, start with astronomy and science and start digging in.
Hmm.
I love that. I'm going to. I think it's so interesting. I love it. So, yay. Okay. That is what we have for today. And then
Yeah.
we have guests coming up. I don't, maybe next week, the
Yep.
23rd, we will have one. And then, yeah, we'll have a few more. We have some people coming up that are so cool. Like, oh
Yes.
my gosh. Oh, get ready. Get your pen and notebook ready because we've got some cool guests coming up.
Yeah, we do.
All right. Thanks for joining me, Casie. This is always my most favorite part of the week.
Thank you so much. This is great.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.